sun can start and going down. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, no, start and going down. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, no, no.
Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. I don't know why that Miley Cyrus song is stuck in my head. What up, guys? What up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you, guys. This mic is not on, but I just feel like Whitney Houston with this mic. Child, I just feel like singing. I don't know. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe while you are visiting. It don't take but 2 seconds to hit that like button while you are listening to this review. I'ma wait. All right, and I'm back. So we're gonna talk about it. Happy holidays, whatever you guys are seeing this. Whether I don't know when I'm gonna upload which video first, so I'm gonna just say it in all my videos. Happy holidays. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are having a great Labor Day. I hope you guys are doing great. We're gonna do them all, child. I don't know if I'm a zoo, because these reviews are not that long. I don't think. I don't know if I'm gonna lump them all in one, or I think I'm like lump them all in one video, or do 2 videos, or just do 3 videos. I don't know, but we'll get there when I get there. This is the episode. These are the Braxton's episodes. So this is episode 2. Yes, I am behind. I am trying to catch up. I'm trying to get y'all some stuff. I've been just busy, and I missed y'all. So I was like, let me come and say, hey now, this is what dream. Let me stop. I don't know why I keep singing that song. I really don't know why I keep singing that song. Drop down in the comments, let me know if y'all know that Miley Cyrus song. I am loving. I used to love Miley Cyrus at one point, child. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about it. Episode 2. So it starts off full swing therapy session. Once again, Mama Braxton says that she feels for little Kevin, because she feels like he's getting the brunt of it. He's going through the most, because she was his best friend. He was her best friend as well. Not the father, the son, how that goes. They was pretty much tied at the hip, and so she feels for him. She said that she was not prepared to lose a child. And I don't think any parent is really at some point. I don't think any parent is prepared to lose a child. And, because when my older sister was the first one in my family to pass. Oh, my brother. My brother was the first, and then my older sister was the second. And my mom, she wasn't prepared either, because I heard her say to somebody, that her kids were supposed to go, she was supposed to go before her kids. And so I don't think anybody is prepared to lose a child. And I think it's a lot. I think it takes a lot out of you. And I think it took a lot out of her. And it probably took a lot out of Tony Braxton's mom too, Mama Braxton. So we learned that she almost lost Tracy 3 times during her lifespan. So when she was initially being born, and 2 more times after that. She said she didn't want to see her suffer anymore, so she prayed that she would be, released from her suffering and God take her. And I can resonate with that a lot, because I know, watching mom, like dealing with what was going on with my mom and watching her go through that, I was the same way. At the very, very end, it was just like, Lord, just take her, because I don't want her to suffer no more. It was painful to watch. It was really painful to see. So I understand 100%. And I feel like what I do want to say with this episode is this episode kind of like rang true, because this is everything that was happening in this episode is pretty much happening with my family, because when you lose a loved one, it's pretty much the same. And to lose the monarch of the family is really hard. And I feel like Tracy was the glue that kept the family together. Just like in my situation, my mom was the glue that kept the family together. So everything that happened in this episode kind of like resonated and hit home with me as I was watching it. Mama Braxton feels like Tracy is ever present, omnipotent. Not God, but she is ever present, like always around, and she is in a happy place, you know. So that's her way of coping, which is a great way to think about things, because a lot of people get stuck and wallow in that space, and they don't know how to dig themselves out. So I like the fact that she has a positive spin on it as opposed to a negative one. You know, they all spend as much time with Tracy as possible during her last few days, because the time meant the world to them. They showed clips of them playing games and singing and dancing and just rubbing her and sitting with her and watching TV and watching movies and stuff like that. And I just feel like it was a beautiful thing to see. I didn't like to see her like that, but it was beautiful to see, because that is their memories of her. The thing that annoyed me the most was when Tamar couldn't remember that Tiana was her favorite princess. I'm not going to say too much about Tamar because y'all already know how I feel about her. I'm just going to keep my feelings to myself, but I just feel like, so if you find out that something that significant in somebody's last days, it sticks with you. So for you to not remember your sister's favorite cartoon or show, the princess, the only black one at that is a problem. And I'm going to just leave it there. Because, like, people never really understood. I knew a lot about my sister before she passed that a lot of people didn't know, because I spent a lot of time with her. So when I'm having conversations with my other sisters about certain things, they like, oh, I didn't know that. I know you didn't know that, because that was a conversation between her and I. And we talked a lot. You understand what I'm saying? So it's moments like that. But then for you to get this information and then not remember it kind of like hurt. But anyway, we're going to move on. You know, the end was very happy and sad for her, and at the same time. And I agree, you know, because you never want to see your loved one suffering and going through what they're going through, but you also want to make it have the best memories at the time. And that's what they try to do. And I think a lot of people try to do that. You know, so they all get to the point of explaining to the therapist that they are all in different places of their healing, which everybody heals differently, so it's gonna look different to everyone. And yeah, there's a bunch of them, a bunch of different personalities, so it's definitely gonna look different to everyone. And you know, Trina said that she is not free at all from the pain, because she said she thought she was strong enough and she thought she was able to deal with it and be strong and be there for her sister, and then she realized that she wasn't. She was, like I said last time, there when her sister took her final breath. And I feel like that was a lot. You know, I was a person that I didn't want to be there to see that person take their last breath. And that was just something that I knew I didn't want to do. So to witness that is very heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Trina says she felt that, you know, she felt all of her Tracy's energy leave bit by bit by bit. So all the majority of the time that she spent with her, the days that she spent with her, whatever the case may be, is she felt her energy leaving slowly but surely. And it's true, because literally you watch them go from having a little bit of energy, being able to speak, you know, to a certain extent and move to a certain extent, to the point where they just not moving at all, barely want to open their eyes. They don't have much energy at all, you know. So I understand what she's saying. Like I told y'all, this episode resonated a lot with me, and it hit home. So she feels like she's taking the weight of everybody on. You know, she's eating, that her eating is helping her cope. And that's not a good thing. She can't sleep. She said in the last 2 years, she really can't sleep. She really, because she still sees her every time she closes her eyes. The doc says that, she's dealing with postpartum stress disorder, and she needs help and treatment. And I agree. If for 2 years you haven't really been able to sleep, and you're stress eating and all that stuff like that, you really do need help. You really do need help. You really do need treatment. She's alone. That's how she feels. And she does need help. And you could tell by the way she's crying and the way she's breaking down that she's really, really still to this day affected by that losing, by that situation. So she definitely needs help, and she needs to be able to work through that trauma, and so that she could be on the other side of whatever it is, good or bad, whatever it is. Tawanda says that, she still feels her energy, her spirit, and her soul, and it never died with her. It never went. And that's another way to deal with things. That's another way to deal with things. So Tony, again, she kind of reiterated what I said, that Tracy was the glue that held them together, and that, she is currently in the angry stage, which a lot of us go through, the angry stage, because I initially was there too, not accepting and, suppressing it all. And she felt like she needed to be stronger because she was the oldest sister, to not show vulnerability, because she was the oldest. And a lot of the times that's how it be. A lot of the times just need to be able to sit with somebody, talk to somebody, and break down to somebody and get it out, talk through it, work through it. I was in that stage too, because there's a few stages that you go through when you're dealing with someone passing away, a loved one passing away, especially if it's somebody like significant. You go through the anger stage when you initially find out, because you're like, why is it them? Why is it not happening? Why is it happening to them? Why do you do that? Why are you taking them? Like, why? And then you get to the point where you're like, why it can't be me instead of them, and things like that, because you don't want to see them suffer. And then you get to an acceptance stage where you're like, dang, this is really happening, this is how it's gonna be. And then you really in depression and sorrow after the situation happens. So there's a few stages that you go through dealing with that traumatic situation. And like she said, she's currently in the anger stage. There's a lot of the things that happen, because I'll question God too, when why my mom, what happened, why would you do it? And it happened so suddenly. It was just like, oh my gosh, why her? Like, why now? Why? Like, what? So there's a lot of things that you do and that you deal with. So I understand, you angry at God, and I was angry for a moment as well. It happens. It happens, So she says she's channeling that and her comfort through her music. She's going back to the time when she wasn't really so much of a star, and she is using that energy and channeling that energy to help her get through. So hopefully it helps them. Hopefully it helps. Y'all know I've been here. I done. This is like my 5th video today. So they sit and they talk to Dad, and Dad says he just wants to learn, and he wants to help his family process, and he wants them to be able to heal. He wants to help with the healing, for his family. They speak to little Kev, and they ask little Kev how he's doing. And he says every day he's hurt. He lost a part of him. Like I said, his mother was his best friend, and vice versa. So it's really hard. It's really tough. He's not okay, pretty much, is what he's saying. So, he said the doctor says he needs individual therapy. And the crazy thing is, while he was in the chat, the police show up at his place. So it's kind of like an awkward moment. They have a little awkward moment where everybody's trying to figure out what's going on and what's happening. And because they hear the police chatter in the background, he steps away from the screen. So everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. Then Tawanda calls him and speaks to one of the officers, and the officers lets her know that he's being arrested and he's being charged, because he says that they said that somebody called and said that he had a warrant, and they think somebody called and set him up. I think so too, because that was perfect timing, on camera, in front of the world, all this and all of that. I think so. But then, so they decide to cut the session short, and they said they will meet with the therapist again. And then here we go, Tamar in the confessionals, and just sounding stupid in the confessionals because, she's talking about she don't feel comfortable telling her business to a stranger. First of all, you say in every episode so far that you have a therapist around you all the time. They're strangers. Therapists and counselors are strangers. You're literally talking to a stranger. So what? You sound stupid. You're weird. She's just weird to me. And every time she talks, I just feel like the lies is just spitting out her mouth. She's just weird. For her to sit there and say, oh, you don't feel comfortable talking to a stranger. Your therapist is a stranger as well. Regardless of how long you've been with her, she's still a stranger. Anyway, I'm assuming that's why they asked the lady who found her, because it was going to be an issue for this girl. Anyway, excuse me. She feels she needs to beg. She feels like she needs to beg her sisters for time and attention and sisterhood and love. All the things that are supposed to be readily available from a sister. She feels like she's begging for them, and she's like, oh, she's over it. She doesn't want to have to do that anymore. I don't know where that statement came from, but she said they really don't understand. One of them said that they really don't understand Tamar, and Trina says that she always shows up anytime Tamar calls. So she said if Tamar has an issue with somebody, that she needs to address it with that person and call out that person instead of making it a general statement, which I agree. I agree. Anyway, Trina feels like those comments are directed towards others. I agree. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But I feel like she needs to be more direct. They're in a therapy session. And the crazy thing is how just her opening her mouth and talking shifted this whole conversation to a Tamar session. Quickly. I was just like, how did this go from them having a grievance session about Tracy to them having a pity Tamar session, or woe was me Tamar session? Y'all let me know if y'all caught that. It could have just been me. Anyway, and then Mama Braxton really gets tired of the bickering and the back and forth and the shouting, because they was literally shouting for like 5 minutes and going back and forth for like 5 minutes. I was just like, geez Louise, what is happening here? And she wants them to stop, so she starts yelling and screaming, and she says life is too short for them to be continuing like this. They should be doing better. Tracy wanted them to do better. She asked them to do better, and yet here we are. She wants them to come together, and she gets up and walks out because she says she's tired of it. She's tired of it. This is what they've been going through for years. She's tired of it. She said she's not a fixer. She's a mother, and she's disappointed. And she said she doesn't feel like it's going to get better. Yikes. They've been dealing with this for years. They've been going back and forth like this for years. And it's a bunch of them. So, yeah, it's crazy. The doctor wants them to change how they do things, and they want them to work on the changes, which is good advice. I feel like the doctor gave a lot of good advice. Not just talk about it. She didn't just tell them to don't talk. She pretty much told them don't talk about it, be about it, which, I think that's good advice. Walk the walk. She says she's willing to help any of them and refer them for treatment, which is great. They have a whole team that she's willing to refer them for, which is good, because I feel like a lot of them need one-on-one coaching or counseling as opposed to a group counseling, because you get more personal. It's more personal if it's one-on-one. I think it was a great therapy session because she allowed, she was patient, this therapist, counselor, whatever you want to call her. She was understanding. She listened. She kind of guided the conversation. She offered advice and gave them directions that they needed. So she was doing the things. Like, you know, she wasn't just talking and she wasn't interrupting, not too much. The only time she really interrupted was to steer the conversation back to where it was supposed to be. She let everybody speak their piece. And it wasn't about people trying to overtalk one another. She really wanted them to focus on what they needed to focus on and get their issues out and really steer the conversation so that they could achieve their goal and, you know, be able to talk things through. And that was really it for this episode. Sorry, I've been talking all day. My voice is tired. That was really it for this episode. I think she did a good job. I think this was a decent session. I think they, like I said, they all need a little bit of solo counseling because they all have other issues that they need to work through and work out. But I think all in all, it's progress. And it's just going to take time. 2 years is not enough. 2 years sometimes is not enough. Trust me, 2 years is not enough. 2 years is not enough. But, you know, I thank you guys for coming. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Peace for episode 3. Peace.